Okay, I'm here with Mayor Jeff Smith. Go ahead and tell me what you've heard about flat Earth.
What I've heard about flat Earth has been from you, actually. Other than the history books of Copernicus and Galileo and all the studies they did with the stars, and before any modern technology in the universe. So my knowledge in terms of flat Earth has been listening to you and the history books of how they figured out that the Earth revolved around the sun and gravity and that.
Most people have said that they have heard about flat Earth through me. That is a true statement. I've only known for 3 years. When I looked into it, I actually found out through Scripture first. I was convinced by Scripture, and then I found out that real science proves it. For example, sea level, water's always level. Gravity doesn't exist. For example, if you let go of a log through the air, it'll fall, and then it will float in water. A rock will sink through the water, but if you let go of a helium balloon, it rises. So what we observe is density and buoyancy. Now NASA, they've been faking everything with the CGI and animation. Did you review the email that I sent you?
I briefly read the email. I didn't read.
It was a very short.
Numbers, yeah,
it was a very short email to the point.
Yep, and I saw that the speeds and all of that in there, and I'm not an engineer or anything like that. So, but
right.
I do know that NASA wasn't around when Galileo, Copernicus, and they discovered all that. You know.
Well,
you know, in terms of in the different change of seasons, the sun is at a different point in the horizon. If the Earth is flat, I don't know where the sun goes at night.
I can explain you. The sun is actually
eclipses.
The sun is actually very close to the Earth. It's small. It's not 93 million miles away. It's a small light. My research has shown it somewhere around 32 miles wide. And the reason why we have night is because lights only illuminate what they're over. And just like a street light only illuminates the area that it's over. So when the sun moves above the Earth, it illuminates what it's around. And then when it's not around, it's of course dark, and that's where we get the light from the moon and the stars. Now, we're told that stars are several light years away, and they're not. They can be zoomed in on with a telescope. They can be zoomed in on with a like a camera.
But of course, different distances, because you could use the same zoom on two different stars and see them different. So they're in different space and time.
Now, have you actually seen a zoomed-in picture of a real star?
I have, not recently.
They will actually flash different colors, and they don't look anything like the CGI animation that NASA puts out. Are you aware?
You got to remember Galileo and Copernicus when they were looking at the stars and mapping and everything.
Do you know anything about the Freemasons and the Illuminati?
I don't, other than by name that Freemasons are, built a lot.
And okay, well,
Illuminati,
Galileo,
Catholic Church, and stuff
and
like
all
that.
them people were Freemasons, and they designed their science to deceive us. It was known that the Earth was indeed flat and motionless for thousands of years. Then, of course, they come along and say that it's a spinning ball going around space, and then nobody checked on it. So what is your proof that the Earth is moving and it's a ball flying through space? Why do you believe that?
Well, I believe it because it's been proven through science. Galileo, Copernicus, and modern science and research. And you talk
when
about
I go
space
ahead,
travel and things like that.
When I go ahead and try to replicate the science with the moving of the Earth, if the Earth was moving, shouldn't I be able to replicate an experiment that shows this?
Oh, you're asking me engineering questions.
Right.
Engineering
Now,
stuff.
do you know what a gyroscope is? It keeps the horizon. Now, that proves a motionless Earth because...
But you were in the Navy, so
yes.
you should have sailed up to the end and be able to look over, right?
Now, what I did not go to the edge where Antarctica is, but what I did
won't the water fall off the edge?
No, because Antarctica is an ice ring that holds our oceans in like a bowl. Okay. It's a circle around that holds it all in.
But that's only
I'll
one
be honest
part.
with you, the true shape of the Earth is unknown, like the distances and how far it goes. My research has discovered more land that old maps show that modern maps do not show. But like I was about to say,
got to wrap up.
Okay.
I got a session.
Well, okay, we can wrap it up, but
why don't you continue to research? Questions are always good.
Right.
And challenge your own beliefs at times, as we should all challenge our own
Real
beliefs.
quickly,
Yep.
can you go ahead and tell me what you think my step is? Because you mentioned that the city council does not want to help me with this endeavor.
I mean, you want an investigation into flat Earth, and that is
Yes.
something the city of Watertown is not going to or can't
Why?
undertake.
Why won't they?
Well, that you're asking in something to change and you said you have government documents and
Yes.
CIA documents. Then you need to start with the federal government, which would be the Congresswoman's office, and ask
Even
them.
though laws are being broken for fraud and deception, this isn't a city issue.
Well, you got to remember, there's only two forms of government in our Constitution. There's a federal government and state government. We're an extension of state government, and so fraud and deception in terms of you've got to prove that. So
Okay.
I would say first start with using what you said you have as federal documents with the federal government, because when you're talking about education policies and all that, they come down through the Department of Education and the federal and state government, not local government.
Okay. Well, thank you. That's great advice, Mayor.
Yep.
Thaning you for the time.
you. Yeah,
And we're
appreciate it.
making history here. Thank you.
All right.